An emotional day in Deya, Kiambu County, and we're here on The Explainer tonight with retired Chief Justice David Maraga. Thank you for being on The Explainer tonight. Let's just get your quick reaction to that story of people who were buried, died during the protests, some of them as young as 12, not even involved in the protests. What's your reaction when you watch that story?
This is shocking, Yvonne. What is happening in our country, I mean, speaking for myself, and I think for everyone, has never happened. This is shocking to have young people who have done nothing to deserve death, leave alone injury. This is devastating, and it should be condemned by literally every Kenyan.
Yeah, and all of this is from the way the protests were conducted.
Yes.
You've participated, in at least one. We've seen you recently. What's your take on how, the police and others conduct themselves during the protests? Because now we're seeing deaths that are taking place there. The Cabinet Secretary for Interior says there are no police killer squads. But what's your view on how the police have conducted themselves during the protests?
The view is what the president said, orders to shoot. Although he said it later, but that tells you exactly what the police were ordered to do. I mean, I was on the streets in solidarity with the families of those who lost their loved ones. Yeah. And on the assurances that had been given by the police that the protests were going to be peaceful, as they are supposed to be, we went there in solidarity, only to be tear-gassed, and those ladies could not even be allowed to lay flowers where they wanted to lay flowers. Yeah. A clear demonstration that the government didn't want those demonstrations, despite the assurances that they had given.
Yeah, and you had been given some personal assurances by the police regarding that protest?
I didn't ask for personal assurances. Yeah. I relied on what they had told the families, okay. And I was going there in solidarity to those families, with those families.
Yeah. Your experience on the streets on that day?
I was horrified. Yeah. I was horrified because we were just walking to, you see that statue on Kimati Street? That's where the families wanted to lay flowers, and then from there they would walk to Parliament. We didn't even go 10 meters before we were tear-gassed. The claim is that, there was a burning tire or a burnt tire on the street. There was nothing of the kind, I can tell you for sure.
Yeah, and for someone who has sat through a whole process,
yes,
regarding police reforms in the country, and for quite a number of, things that have been said about how the police should conduct themselves, what are your thoughts on that? Because you spent quite some time researching and gathering views on police reforms. Your thoughts on that?
One of the recommendations we made is that the police need a lot of training on human rights affairs. They don't seem to be aware as to what they are supposed to do in such situations, because to tear gas or to just shoot an unarmed bystander like Boniface Kariuki is shocking. It's shocking. You wonder whether that policeman is a human being or what. Because, the shooting at close range, he must have known that it was going to create serious injury, if not death. So for one to do that is really shocking.
Yeah. We will come back and talk a lot more about police reforms in the country. And indeed, the big news of the day as regards you, retired Chief Justice, on your announcement of your intention to run for the top seat in the country. We'll talk a lot about that, what your plan is,
yes,
and also just to continue to understand your view on the state of law and order in the country. So we'll come back to you in just a moment. Stay with us. Of course, retired Chief Justice will be with us